It is 0600. The alert call comes through, part of the realistic training that keynotes today's Army overseas. Upon receipt of the alert call, men and equipment must be moved into defense combat positions within a time limit of 2 hours, ready for action. At the 25th Anti-Aircraft Battalion, the charge of quarters consults the alert plan. From this list, he notifies all personnel residing off post. He then notifies the first sergeant and battalion troops. In a matter of moments, gun crew personnel are pouring out of their billets. The idea is to make every man letter perfect in his combat job, so that if the real call ever comes, the step-by-step drill he is now practicing will enable him to respond instantly. In formation, each member of the gun crews is carefully inspected. The inspecting officer makes sure that every man carries all his equipment. As the alert gets underway, the battalion's activities reflect a keen awareness of its defense responsibilities. Then the march is begun to the motor pool, where vehicles will speed these men to the combat defense area. Meanwhile, at the motor pool, the motor sergeant gives a final briefing to the drivers of jeeps, trucks, and artillery tractors, which will make up the convoy. Collecting their trip tickets, drivers head for their vehicles. Riflemen assigned as guards or to defense positions within the cantonment draw their weapons from the armorer. They take up their stations along with 50 caliber machine guns in place to defend the cantonment. Other machine guns mounted on trucks will join the convoy to the defense area. Ammo cans for each of these weapons are loaded on the same truck. Another truck pulls into position to be loaded with sea rations. There's no telling how long this alert will last. Whether its duration is a matter of hours or days, provision must be made to feed hungry troops. Arriving at the motor pool, the gun crews move up to waiting trucks and tractors, in which they will ride to the defense combat area some distance away from the cantonment. The vehicles are directed into the positions they will take in the convoy. A guard waves the leading vehicles of the first battery through the gate. With coordinated timing and precision on the part of each unit, the alert is proceeding on schedule. And the convoy is underway. The mission of this anti-aircraft battalion is to maintain combat readiness for protection against hostile air attack. Though they are in Germany, this mission is one that vitally concerns all Americans and free Europeans. For this is one unit in our pattern of protection against destruction from the skies. Vehicles are directed to their predetermined positions in the defense area, where weapons will be set up. The command is given to the 90mm gun crew to dismount. Then the crew begins to unhitch the big 90 from the artillery tractor, which serves as a prime mover. Nearby, a portable generator is set up to supply power. Now the sensitive acquisition radar antenna begins to search the sky. A quad 50 machine gun mounted on a truck is emplaced in support of the perimeter defense. As a simulated aggressor air attack approaches, the 90mm gun crew is in formation and on command moves quickly to positions around the gun. Then synchronized with the rotation of the radar antenna, the gun stalks its target in the sky. Every man on duty at the gun site is trained not only to be letter perfect in his own performance, but to know the jobs of all other members of his crew as well. The aggressor aircraft is picked up by the radar, and now by the big anti-aircraft gun as shown on its azimuth dial. The command to fire is given. For the practice alert, the weapon is loaded, but firing is simulated. As yet, the men engaged in this training maneuver have not been called on to act in a real alert. However, in order to be ready if and when the real thing should occur, our overseas troops, wherever they are stationed, hold practice alerts such as this regularly. There is a message for the battery commander. The alert is over. He gives the command, march order. Though we are developing new and more powerful weapons for men such as these to operate, they do not diminish the importance of the individual fighter in combat. Our generals tell us that our most important military weapon is still the trained soldier, and will be for some time to come. March order completed, the convoy moves out of the defense area for the return to the motor pool. Leaving the trucks, the men of the 25th Anti-Aircraft Battalion who have performed as Europe's Minutemen now gather to hear a critique by the battery commander of the job they have done in the practice alert.
We have just completed another in our monthly alerts. During the alert, there were a few comments, a few notes that I'd taken along the route and after we arrived in position. First, as most of you know, these monthly alerts are conducted for one main purpose, and that is, if the real thing should happen, we would be able to move out of here with the least practicable delay, move into position, and be able to deliver quick and accurate fire. In order to do this, it's going to require everyone's cooperation and everybody working rapidly together. Keep in mind that all your equipment must be cleared of this area. Remember, too, that all men must wear all their individual gear. That includes your steel helmet, carrying of your weapon, etc. Remember, once out of the positions, and this is particularly for the drivers, we must maintain 100-yard interval until arriving to our position. The one main comment I have when we moved in position, and that is one of the gun sections was a little slow and becoming operational. I thought the range platoon did quite well, moved in quite rapidly. Also, the machine gun platoon and securing the defense, the perimeter of the battery. Keep in mind that we have 2 hours. In other words, we have a 2-hour limit to meet. We must be able to move out of here, get in position, and be able to deliver fire. Are there any questions?
There is no question about the big job our Army is doing in building security of peace by preparedness for all free people all over the world.